on Facebook. I'm on YouTube and coming on Twitch. Okay. So today I am going to finish building my giant tape ball, this thing, and then I'm going to glue together a bunch of Polaroid scanner trays. And first it is Chinese Hanukkah. We get to see what has come for the mongoose today. Oh, motor controllers. A4988 motor controllers. Okay, well, these are all the mongoose motor controllers. Put this in my stack of boxes. All right. Our first segment today is going to be peeling acrylic. It's very relaxing. It's actually not that relaxing. All right, well, if you are out there watching, you can click this link down over here and come chat me while I peel acrylic. Gotta figure out how to turn that sound off. Okay. My nails and fingertips hurt from so many hours of peeling yesterday, but I'm almost done with peeling today. Levi King. How's the live streaming going? Hey, Levi, I think you're the only person watching my incredibly interesting live stream right now. I'm super popular. Um, yeah, but I've been doing these menial tasks for quite some time now, and will do them for a long time. So I've just been running this live stream while I do them. And in this chat over here is where people can come talk to me about cameras or electronics or 3D printers. It would be a live 3D printer troubleshooting show. Uh, really, I just need to keep peeling and gluing acrylic sheets all day. It's the only thing I gotta do. Got some of it yesterday. Cool thing to do, even if no one watches. Yeah, it's sort of just like holding the room open, right, until somebody wants to come talk to me about something interesting. And then maybe we'll do something interesting. I have not yet gotten to like cutting up YouTube clips for people to watch later. I have not really figured this whole thing out yet, but I think I had some really interesting conversations yesterday. I got to talk to people from Romania and the US and Canada and England and Wales and the Netherlands. It was pretty crazy. You know, I don't think it's like going to be a giantly famous channel, but it's like kind of been a cool place to talk about things more interesting than acrylic peeling. But a lot of the day is dead air. Just seeing who might show up. I feel like if I get into a rhythm peeling, make some ASMR videos with an overhead camera. Okay. Very satisfying to peel plastic. Nico says, "Hey, Nico, why are you watching this stream? You have way better things to do. You can come talk to me." Hang on a second. Hello, this is Ethan. Oh, good. How are you? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was good enough. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I will give it a 7. Um, no, actually, you did improve. There was like a miscommunication from the beginning, and then the second time we did a test, they were really really excellent. Yep. Thanks very much. You have a nice day. All right. Bye. Yo, Nico, if you're watching, you can come chat. I'll put you in one of these places. Just peeling, peeling acrylic and gluing acrylic for a long time today. Updating comments and stuff. Wild. Uh, Nico, I bet you spend hours a day moderating comments and uploading videos and that sort of thing. Seems exhausting. Jeremy Schaefer says, "How's the new cutter? It's great. It cut all of these pieces, but I have, you know, hundreds of them to peel and cut and then glue together. So it is faster than me for sure. I've been trying to think about how to speed up part of these processes. I think answer at my scale is maybe just to hire somebody to peel acrylic and glue things, but maybe not during COVID. Anyway, how you doing, Jeremy? Work sucks, but the lake has enough ice to go fishing, so I've been doing that in the afternoon. That sounds cold, actually, and bad. Ice fishing might be nice. I don't know. We don't have lakes. Oh, so Kidding Mayor says, I'm eyeing one of those holders, although I'm not sure if they ship to Europe. Yes, I pre ship them to Europe for you so you don't have to, you know, um, ship across the ocean. I think there should be some at, um, let's see, Analog Wonderland, I believe, has a few, and Arzamago should have some now or soon. But I would just contact Arzamago if you're interested in Europe or if you're in the UK, uh, Analog Wonderland. Thanks. Chris Robertson says, painfully, there has to be an easier way to peel those. Your fingertips must be bleeding looking at that paper ball. Yes, my fingertips are painful, but I'm almost done. This is actually the last one in this batch. And I think I have 16 more to peel. And then I get to go on to gluing, which is much easier. The traditional way to solve this is to peel the acrylic before you cut it. But the cuts don't come out as nice when it's protected from whatever flame is coming out by this paper. And so I'd much rather even do, this terrible job of peeling them than, have a wiggly cut or anything if I could help it. Um, the traditional solution is to hire some, kids as an after-school job to peel acrylic, but not right now. I'm gonna go grab a couple more of these, and I will be right back. This is what I cut last night, but did not want to fish out of the cutter. I just wanted to stop peeling acrylic when it was done. The easiest way, Chris Robertson, is probably to convince all my friends that peeling acrylic was super satisfying, and like an evil genius, start a ASMR acrylic peeling YouTube channel to convince people that they would pay me to peel my acrylic pieces. It's twice as fun as face painting or fence paint. Excuse me. It's twice as fun as fence painting and 6 times as satisfying. Let's see. Some people on the internet, this is the best part, but I know better. I've peeled small acrylic parts. Yeah, it's bad. Um, Kidding Mayor says a friend of mine peels the whole acrylic sheet, then adds his own paper to protect from the frames, which is way easier to remove. That's very interesting. I've had some friends who do that. They'd peel it off and then they would use like a couple sheets of masking tape. I've even seen on a YouTube video somebody had like a, I don't know, 10-inch wide roller of masking tape. They could easily tape, you know, sheets of acrylic or whatever they were cutting with to mask it off. That might be worth looking into in the future. It's a good idea. Thank you for the suggestion. Way easier to peel off when it's warm. Yes, well, it is cold in here. I've dressed like a kind of like a homeless person, gluing and peeling. Um, yeah, it's warming up. Some kind of transfer tape, which he got cheap from a sign shop since it's not sticky enough for them. Interesting. Transfer tape. I will remember that. Sometimes it's all about figuring out what the keyword to search for on Amazon or AliExpress is to solve your engineering problems. Transfer tape. Kidding Mayor is in Germany. Says it's frustrating to translate search terms. Yes. Hard enough in English. Levi King, any thoughts on a good cheap laser cutter, Ethan? Yes, I have many thoughts on these, but I don't know that this is the best show for me to just, well, maybe. Um, Levi, I will give you a minute or two if you want to come talk to me with this chat in here, and then we can actually talk about, I can be live tech support for laser cutters and printers. um, I think the options for inexpensive laser cutters are like classically marketed the Glowforge, but I think bang for your buck, that thing is a polished, like it's been toasterized kind of appliance. Whereas there are things that are more tools that aren't aesthetically belonging in a house so much as a workshop, which I prefer, right? So the K40 is kind of popularly, um, what do you say, ripped off, like cloned design of a small laser cutter. I believe it's 40 watts. And people will mod them uh, to, you know, varying degrees, maybe extreme mods or just, adding a switch or running, oh, running exhaust in a different way or something like that. I think those are about, I don't know, I've never been in the market for a K40, but I want to say $500. I have a friend who has one, pretty satisfied with it. But it's small, it's like, desktop. I mean, a large desktop, maybe the size of two laser printers or, a small copy machine. Um, what else? And then, you start getting Chinese, like larger lasers that are floor standing for a couple $1,000. And a lot of those are good. I just bought the biggest one that I had the space to put. I think buying like 180 watt with a, um, with a 4 by 8 foot bed would be really great because then I could just get palletized lumber in standard sheets and throw it on. I mean, this thing has a pass through, so I can push a board through this laser and slice it in half. But really, for production, I think a 4 by 8 would be good. But those don't usually come with hoods, so they kind of have to be in their own room with like a lot of built ventilation for those. So one, it would take up where my camera is now. Two, it's too big. I guess now I'm off topic into mega sized laser cutters, but cheap laser cutters. So I guess my advice would be buy the cheapest laser. If you don't know what you want to build with it, right? If you're just interested in laser cutting as a technique, buy the cheapest laser cutter you can find. Make a couple things with it, decide what you like, and then sell it for 80% of what you bought it for, and then buy a, professional laser cutter they're not that expensive to use for a little while and see what you like and what you don't like. Um, so the K40, I think, has, and there are mods for this certainly, but it has a manual Z adjust. So, um, excuse me, the laser head goes left and right on a x-axis, and then the whole gantry moves up and down on a y-axis, and then the z-axis is the bed that holds the work. So, like the work would sit here, and the laser would move around like this. Anyway, um, the K40, I believe, is manual adjustment, or at least as it comes in a bunch of kits out of the box. And so to change the thickness of your material, you kind of want to change the focus. And I focus the laser cutter just by moving the bed rather than readjusting the head on the gantry. And so it just becomes a little bit more of an ordeal to switch between different materials with something like the K40 until you have a motorized Z axis, which I'm almost positive there's a K40Z axis mod that you could build, but at that point, you might just want to buy a bigger or a different cutter. But you can't go wrong. They're great. Take a little bit of tinkering. Excuse me. A few more. Now we can get on to the gluing stream. One time I filled an order like this and I watched, I think, 3 movies on Netflix while I glued everything together. Yeah, so Levi King says I used to have access to a big FS. I don't know what FS. Maybe that's a brand. Laser for work, and I miss it. K40 is the right price, but I'm not sure that I trust it. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, I think of levels of trust. You know, would I trust my life to the functioning of a K40? No, but would I trust it with like $500 that I could make it work with, you know, $200 more parts and some time? Sure, I trust it that much. Um, I think the only thing that I'm not into is the Glowforge. I think it's way overpriced for what you're getting. Um, I feel like a giant powerful laser is great, but nobody has the space to put them. I barely have the space to put it. But, yeah, see if I can make healing sounds. I think I have a noise filter that actually takes it out. Someone's here. Levi King. Hello, Levi. You're on the air.
Hey, I
Hey,
figured I might as well just call instead of trying to type a bunch of stuff.
hey, how you doing? Where are you
Um,
calling from?
I'm calling from Mississippi, having an inception problem as I watch myself on your stream and also in Hangouts.
Oh yeah, you should turn the stream off to talk to me in Hangouts. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd looked into the laser saw. I don't know if you've seen that. It's like
No.
a open source DIY laser cutter.
Uh huh.
Um, but it just seems so involved and
It's going to be very involved, but here's the deal with this sort of technology: is like you're going to get deep into it and know how every part works by the time you own it for a few months, or maybe even before you make your first cut. Like even on this very big, expensive laser that came medium pre-assembled, like it took me a day to just get it to fire the beam the first time, you know. And then it took me another day or two and ruining $100 worth of acrylic to figure out, you know, how to get it perfectly level for the first time. After that, you know, it would be fine. But every new machine kind of you gotta there's a learning curve. Um, and so maybe you want to skirt that part of the learning curve first, right? And just buy something that works. And then what I would say is like you got to be committed to repairing machines to own any of this shit. But also, it's not that hard, right? It's just like they, I don't know, are constantly annoying. So that's what I would say is like eventually you get to the point where you could build one. Should you bother, right? Like, what is your time worth? What do the parts cost? I used to buy these 3D printers called ANETs. They were like very cheap, um, like
oh yeah,
eBay
they're like
style.
$150, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so I'd buy them and then I would strip all of the electronics off and get aluminum extrusions and print nice brackets and then build my own printers. And like I don't know, I would go $80 more in parts in, and it took me 8 hours to like disassemble them and put them together. So like by the time I was done, I had built printers, which at the time were very inexpensive. Um, but now I can buy an Ender 3 Pro out of the box for like $170, where it's basically cheaper than the printer I could make. And from the time I cut the tape on the box till I'm printing my first print is like 45 minutes. And so at some point, I think it just pays to not save some money and just be laser cutting. But you've got to make that decision. I don't know you.
Yeah, I've been I got one of the Prusa minis, and
Cool.
I've been really impressed at the how much it just works relative to
Yes.
being $350 for, as long as you don't need something 10 inches across. It's
Yeah. So I have a couple Pressa i3 Mark IIIs, and I love that well, one worked out of the box, one I built myself to save a lot of money. Um, but the one I built myself took a long time to calibrate. There's a lot of stuff going on. Um, oh, do you have me on twice?
hmm,
I'm echoing. Are you like, am I, or are we in two screens at once?
I don't know how.
Do you have a pair of headphones?
I'm wearing them, aren't I?
Okay, then maybe I'm causing the echoing. Sorry. Um, I don't know what I was saying. I think like sometimes it. Oh, the Pressa, the one out of the box that came built from Pressa, worked great. The one that came from China and I built from basically individual pieces and screws took me a long, long time to get calibrated. Then it worked great. And then I crashed the original Pressa, and it's a real pain to take those heads apart. And I think there's a couple pieces that may have melted and warped a little bit because it's all printed in PETG, and if it's like very hot and you have a fan go out, it's just like they're great, but annoying to maintain when they go down, even though they don't go down very much. But yes.
Yeah, I used to work at Type A Machines. It was a 3D
Oh.
printing company in the Bay Area,
Whoa.
and we used to build, um, I thought, pretty great printers. But you really just can't beat China on price. So,
Yes. Yes.
um, and then it's also really hard to explain to people where they're like, "Why would I spend $1,200 for your printer instead of whatever for this other one?" And it's like, "Well, ours works." I'm like, "Well,
Well,
the
now
other ones claim to work," and it's like, "Yeah, well,
they work. I mean, I run. I have 12 Ender 3 Pros and one Ender 3.
hmm,
Um, and I mean, a couple of them are not running behind me because I need to change heads for a different uh, type of print in the cycle. But I mean, they just run all the time. I mean, okay, I fix one a day, but that's sort of the nature of 3D printers. Even if you have a fancy one, like nozzles are going to jam, prints are going to warp. If you run enough
yeah,
prints.
yeah." That was the main innovation with ours is the nozzle was built out of basically a single piece of surgical steel needle that
Uh huh.
was thin and not like there was no way for it to jam because it was just a steel tube all the way through, a continuous piece with no seams.
Cool. Yeah.
So if it did jam, because you'd have cases where there's like a pebble in the filament or
Yeah.
something, like
Yeah. You get buildup, right?
one in a million.
or
Like,
or you're just running like dust through the thing for a year, and eventually, that dust builds up and carbonizes, and you get some goop in there, right?
yeah,
What? How much is
but
that? How much is that uh, needle nozzle? Right? Like if you
um,
did have to replace it,
it was
is it
like $3,
awesome? That's
and
great.
it could live through being blowtorched. So if things got real, like there was no parts that
I've done
could
that.
melt on the hot end, so you could just like take the controller board off and just hit it with a torch, and then everything was dead in it. And to start over. And then we made one out of tungsten carbide after that, and it was really indestructible. But um,
Yeah.
okay,
Interesting.
not cheap though. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I buy
but
nozzles now by the 100 or 300. Like they're just a to me a consumable part, but man, if there was a nozzle that I could just buy and plug in or mod a bunch of these things that has no seams in it, that would be great. I would
yeah,
buy a bunch of those.
the tragedy is we were a little late with that innovation. The
Uh-huh.
inertia of the like MakerBot or E3D style hot ends had just
Uh-huh.
already taken off. So
Yeah.
um, convincing people to not do what they've already done is
Yeah.
challenging.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, that was the place we had. It was a full spectrum laser. That's FS laser, but it was one
I
of
see.
the big I think it was a half sheet that it could take, not a full 4x8. Like you're
Right.
saying, 4x8 would be great, but
Yeah. I have 4 by 8 feet of space exactly. Um, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
this one will
So
do like 3 feet by 4 foot panels, which is nice. Uh,
I
Half sheet would be.
I've been in the process of building a 20 by 24 camera. My friends joke it's going to be like, old man builds a boat in his garage kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I've often been like, man, a laser cutter sure would be nice. But uh, if the camera's got 24 inches on the long end, then you need at the very least like 26 inches of, uh,
So this is exactly why I bought the big cutter, right? I
yeah,
have I have been cutting everything on let's see on a 24 by 36 inch cutter, and it's just too small to make the back for a 20 by 24.
yeah, exactly.
Painful. Yeah.
And I don't, I was like, man, I found a place, one of those like upload your designs and get your laser cuts.
Hmm.
And it's like,
Very expensive.
if I did this twice, I could get a K40.
Yeah.
But the K40 wouldn't help me because the K40 is not big enough.
Well, it
So I'd
depends how
have
you
to,
design, right? Like we could
yeah,
we could design around this limitation. So, um, I love 3D printing things, but sometimes a large thing is really terrible to 3D print because it takes so long. So I 3D print a bunch of bracketry so that I can build a lot of that thing out of flat panels. Likewise, you might design a bunch of bracketry so that like some main panels have some hand cut pieces, and then you very precisely put them somewhere with 3D printed brackets that everything pops together. Or I don't know. I mean,
have you built a 20 by 24 camera or are going
um,
to in the process?
I'm working on it. I have designs, but I just got this laser a little while ago, and I basically why I started this whole live stream thing is just like I have a absurd amount of just order filling to do. I don't know if you saw I did like this scanner thing where pieces this
Yeah.
is a misprint, but I've just been printing like hundreds of those things nonstop and gluing this order together, and yeah, one of these days I'm gonna get to building that camera, but
The film holders are the part that I like struggle the most at and wake up and try to think of different ways to build a film holder that's giant.
mhm,
So,
you need a giant
I'm not,
laser cutter.
yeah, I mean, or a giant 3D printer.
You laser cutter. I've
Yeah.
been through this. The 3D printer is so slow. Which maybe if you're making one, that's fine. But like, I don't know.
I, d-
Here,
I don't think I'm going to tear through 20 by 24 prints. Just
yeah, yeah. Uh,
if I am, I'm a richer man than I thought
sure,
I was. So,
sure. The thing was here. Let me show you my demo part for the CR10 Max. So this was the focusing helix for an 8
I
by 10
almost bought
handheld
that.
camera. Yeah.
I almost bought that CR10 Max. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was, I don't know, maybe like a 4 day print or something. It was somewhere between 3 and 5 days. But it crashed like twice before I could, because like the first time you slice something, you have your print, like you're gonna have some errors, but like ultimately, this thing took me a week and a half to get that, you know, bunch of prints done, and it's like, we're talking maybe a kilo and a half of filament, and that's just one piece of like it just is very impractical to make big shit like this.
Yeah. Did you I would always, when I was printing big stuff uh, at the 3D printing company, we had like a couple of 1 millimeter nozzles,
Mm,
and that speeds it up a lot. And of course, this is less easy to do. Those printers were really well built, so you could, if with a 1 millimeter nozzle, you could crank up the all the numbers to 11 basically.
uh-huh.
And I printed a 12-inch tall lampshade, which was not as big as the thing you were holding, but still pretty close, in about an hour. And
Wow. Wow.
uh, it was not what you'd call a high quality print,
Well,
it
yeah.
was, but it
Cool.
was done in about an hour. So
Cool.
um, I feel like the market for giant shitty prints is underserved.
Yeah, I agree. But it's also a hard market to serve, right? Because you got to have room for those printers, and like, already I'm having trouble storing um, my quantity of PLA and PETG. Like the Mongoose project, I could never really have all of the plastic that I need in my shop at the same time now. I mean, not quite, but imagine the space you'd need to print chairs and tables and furniture.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. But if it didn't take you 5 days to print all the stuff, then you might could print to order. Or,
uh huh. Yeah, I could see that being at like a furniture store in a big city. Maybe not Albuquerque.
Albuquerque has plenty of space, I think. Right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I live in
Yeah, I bet there's a K40 mod that you could do like a pass through.
I'm sure there's a mod for everything on that laser because there's so many of them, right? I have not dug into those mods because I've never been in the market for such a small laser. I do have a friend, David. Maybe we could get him on, and he owns and has modded a K40 quite a bit. Uh,
The I'm really looking for, and I know it's just not out there. I just keep hoping I'm wrong. But like you were talking about the Ender versus the ANET, I feel
huh.
like the K40 is in the ANET
Oh,
category, not
oh,
on like
definitely the ender.
slightly higher
Yeah, so
into
it's not to my knowledge, right? And again, I was never shopping even for like an 80-watt laser, but to my knowledge, there's like some jump past the K40, which is really quick. It's
yeah,
basically like the K40 and the Glowforge, and then almost everything else, at least worth buying, is like a floor standing unit.
yeah. And I went down the rabbit hole of the K40 stuff, and it's like, well, there's like a bigger bed mod you can do, but then you're like taking it apart and replacing some of it with extrusions, and then
Yeah,
replace the controller board, and
often by
then
the time you make an Ender 3 out of an ANET, you might as well just buy an Ender 3 and be done with it.
yeah, exactly. And then I was like, honestly, the laser saw is not even that much more stuff than all the mods I want to do to the K40. But but building a laser cutter from scratch seems like a good way to die or go blind or burn my house down or spend a bunch of money for no laser cutter.
Yeah, spend a bunch of money for no laser cutter is the one, right? The tube. Well, I don't know how much a K40 tube is. My tube is $1,200, so I've been trying to like not not mess it up really quickly, and run it at low power and make sure the chiller is running. Put some bleach in the chiller today, but yeah. That being said, like that stuff's gonna break on whatever you buy eventually. You know, um, a lot of it is sort of wear parts at some use level. Uh, but yes, I don't know this laser sawer, but you should check out like I don't know. I wound up buying mine on eBay because Amazon was sold out and I wanted it quick, and I wound up waiting like an extra month and a half to get it. So that's kind of the problem with eBay is like shipping times are often rough estimates, whereas Amazon knows. Um,
Yeah,
but Amazon doesn't always have like a good selection of laser cutters. There's like all sorts of companies. I would recommend some like California importers of Asian lasers. Probably
yeah.
a good way to go. If you were, I mean, you gotta. I don't know how much space you have.
I have a not a big enough house. It's from the 30s, so
Uh
I'm sure it was a reasonably sized house 80 years ago, but
huh. Would
it's
Would
got a
you
little
consider?
enclosed garage area. So
I would always like to have enough land where I could just drop a shipping container for like a new tool and just operate that tool in its own shipping container.
yeah, my dad does that, but um, especially I feel like places where it's warm, shipping containers lose a lot of their appeal. Because
Oh
during
yeah,
the summer they get a million degrees.
sure. I think I would not want to put a foundation and like plumbing into them, but I would want to um,
Put a window
have
unit in it.
have some or like a ceiling blower and like some climate control, right? I would need to run printers in there, but like I could get all these stinky printers out of my shop and put 40 of them in a shipping container, plug it in, go see it in 14 hours.
Printers like to be hot, so
Yeah.
they won't mind.
Well, to a certain extent, right? Like if you were in Florida in
Yeah,
a shipping container that's sealed off, everything would be
yeah,
a puddle. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, here I would actually be concerned about heating it as well, and so maybe I would spray some foam on the outside, or I don't know. I haven't thought it. I ain't thought it through enough, but I think it's a. I still think it's a good idea. Um, but you need a lot of land. Main part.
Well, I should get back to work. Gonna
Okay. Hey, it was a pleasure talking to you. Good luck with your laser if you get one and start cutting cameras.
yeah, I'm
Show me.
yeah, I wanted I've listened to the Homemade Cameras podcast and haven't finished a homemade camera yet, but I've started a couple. But I feel like you have to finish to really brag about it at all. Starting's the easy part.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they go together.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you know when it's done.
All right. Can't wait. Good talking to
Bye.
you. Bye. That was cool. Oh, we got some comments I will read. Bunch of comments. Uh, Chris Robertson asks, "Is the main reason you stream while doing stuff like this just to have some company?" Yeah, probably. Nicole says hello. Sounds fine on my end. Kidding Mayor says, "Nicole, you inspired me to make cyanotypes as Christmas gifts this year. That's awesome." Ooh, the nozzle being blowtorchable is a must for me. I exploded tungsten one once. So I have only blowtorched like a heater block that I needed to get glue off of, and I just buy cheap nozzles and swap them. But if there was a smoother nozzle that was worth cleaning, maybe that would be reasonable. Ethan is sniffing glue. Yes. Okay. I'm not sniffing glue. I am carefully applicating glue. Hmm. grab some paper here. Slightly nicer workspace. I think I've got hours of gluing ahead of me. So we're setting down some paper. Don't apologize, Nicole. It's fine. You guys can have chat room comments in my in my live chat. That's fine. You can also come on the show, but I assume you're both working. Probably can't come talk about cameras in the middle of a hospital or something. Oh, break's over. All right. See you later, Nicole. Heather Oaklaw says, saw you on that feature shoot article. Oh, I didn't know that came out. I did that months ago. Cool. I will look for that. Hey, Heather, if you want to come. Oh, okay. You can't hang out. Hello. Hope you're well. Oh, hello, Casey. What's in that garage? Lots of stuff is in that garage. Is that a garage? Arlo is too. That's great. Hey, Casey, if you and Arlo want to come on my call-in show, I'll put you guys in one of these places. You can read me a book. still getting toys put away. We may do that soon. Cool. Maybe we will have a 2-year-old come read us a book. Okay, I'm going to take a 2-minute break and get some coffee. And we're going to glue some more stuff. Some coffee. Print is done. Time to harvest. Okay. This is Ethan speaking. Oh, awesome. Hey, good. Okay. Hey, are you open on Saturday? Not Sunday either. Oh no. Okay, so I have to get there by tomorrow or Monday. What time are you open? Okay, I will see you either tomorrow or Monday, sometime between 8 to 4. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. That was an order of almost $400 worth of screws to go into the mongooses. Gotta go pick it up before they're closed until January. Been waiting on those for a month. Got somebody at the door. Let's see. Casey Brazil. Hey, Casey.
Hey, should I turn off the audio on your stream probably?
Yes.
Oh, no, I can't do that because then I won't hear you.
You can just leave this stream.
Gotcha. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Hey, your video is not working. I don't know if you have video.
Oh, no, I turned the video off for little boy privacy.
Yeah. Cool.
You never know when he's going to be naked.
Uh,
What were you going to say, bud? Can you hear him?
I can
Say that one more time.
Thanks for cap for sale.
Oh, you're welcome for caps for sale. Oh, you gone. The little inception window down there. Hey, Casey. Casey, your audio is muted through Google Meets. You're actually in two windows here.
All right, are we back?
Back.
We're back. How you doing?
Well, you're welcome, Arlo. That was one of my favorite books when I was about your age.
You're welcome.
He did say you're welcome. He can hear us now.
Yeah, what a polite young man you're raising over there.
Well, he may have been coached on that
Yeah.
line, but you know what? One thing is planning, and another thing is execution. So that it came across is a big deal.
That's great.
It's snowing over here. We're riding in the snow today.
Oh,
It's so
really?
snowy in Chicago right now. Yeah.
Do you love snow?
Do I? Yeah, I love
Do-
snow. I miss it. Back when I lived in Wisconsin, there was a lot of it. Not too much in Albuquerque. It snowed here, but not enough to play in.
Well, it doesn't take very much to play in when you are two. We were eating a lot of snow. We were rubbing leaves in it. We were making very small snowballs that were trying to be snowmen. What
That's
else
great.
did we do in the snow? What did you do when we were in the snow?
I broke them.
You broke the snows?
I broke the snowballs.
You broke the snowballs. Yeah, you sure did. That's okay. Snow is a renewable resource for right now, anyway.
For right now. Someday, Arlo, when you're my age, there won't be snow anymore.
It's all possible.
I'm
Look
not.
at Uncle Ethan is dressed like it's so cold. Is it cold in your garage office layer?
I mean, I have a heater in here, but I have doors cracked for ventilation, and when I run the laser cutter, I have yet to modify the door to have a exhaust flange on it, so I have to crack the big barn doors to run the pipe out. Anyway, yeah, it gets medium cold, but it's okay. I got these warm
Ask
earphones
Uncle
on.
Ethan what an exhaust flange is.
What an exhaust flange. What an
Okay, Arlo.
exhaust flange.
So a flange is something that connects two things. Often it's a connector for like a pipe. And when I run my laser cutter, which is a big machine, we could take a look at it in a minute, and it cuts by burning the edges of things. So I cut this thing out with my laser cutter, and
What?
when you're burning the edges of that, you make smoke, and you don't want to breathe in the smoke in your house. So you use a big fan to blow that smoke outside of your house, but you need a pipe to blow the smoke through, and that pipe needs an exhaust flange.
This is my favorite thing to do, is to just like get things explained to a 2-year-old. So funny. You know what it's like, Arlo? It's like, you know how when Mama and Papa run the vacuum cleaner and it makes a you remember the vacuum cleaner? Yeah. It's that loud sound is a fan, and that fan is pulling the things, and a vacuum cleaner pulls the dirt off the floor, and the exhaust pulls the smoky air out of the garage. And the flange is the piece that connects the your explanation for a 2-year-old did not clear the level of this 37-year-old. And the flange is the piece that does what?
The flange is the connector, right? So like the classic flange you have in your house, it usually connects like a pipe or conduit to a flat surface, right? So a toilet flange connects the toilet trap or the plumbing under the toilet to sort of where the toilet mounts, right? So it would be like a tube, and then a flange is sort of like a flat piece rimming it with which you can screw or bolt that thing down.
Gotcha. Classic flange.
Yeah, like maybe it's a port and a connector at the same time. Maybe a good descriptor. But I think you started with the Arlo description, like, what is a fan?
Yeah.
I missed that part. Yeah. Cool.
he knows fans, but like, what is a fan? He knows what a fan is, but like a fan in the context of removing something that you want to get rid of,
I see.
I think would be like a harder thing for him to understand, because like you don't see the fan in the vacuum cleaner or in the exhaust system in our house, but you see it when it's like rotating overhead to cool the room you're in.
Mm-hmm. But you're never above the fan as a 2-year-old to see that it's also sucking air.
The mystery of fans is not revealed to the 2-year-old generally. I mean, there's probably advanced 2-year-olds. I don't mean to insult the 2-year-olds who are more mechanically inclined on the stream.
Yeah. You're gonna bring in some ringer mechanical engineer 2-year-olds. That'll probably be Arlo soon.
Yeah, I mean, if Bobby Fischer could be a grandmaster at age 13 or whatever, then there's probably somebody who really knew flanges when they were 2.
Yeah,
Just-
definitely.
It's not me and it's not my kid.
He'll know some more important things.
He knows lots of important things. What you playing with, buddy?
I made a foot for my seat.
Are you able to hear that?
He made a fork for his seat?
A foot for the seat.
Oh.
So what Arlo's been doing is getting all the chairs from the kitchen table and putting them on their backs and connecting them together and saying that it's a train. But then his new thing is taking off his clothes and putting it on the train. So he's like takes off his sock and he puts it on the train so that the train can have a foot.
I see. Perfect logic.
It's it's a very surrealist type of train, but surrealism and trains go hand in hand. They had their heyday at about the same time.
Probably.
I mean, the trains may rise again. Good luck to all trains.
As may surrealism.
Yeah. Good luck to all surrealists.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not trying to write anybody's obituary here, but I just, I feel like the 40s was a good time for trains and for surrealists. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's true.
You put a sweater on the bus for what reason?
To make a belly and some arms.
Train's gotta have a belly.
And some arms.
And some arms.
And some hands.
And some hands. Good. Well, now the train has lots of body parts that I'm sure will be very useful to the train.
Hey, do you guys watch Thomas the Tank Engine? Is that a thing?
I think he knows of Thomas the Tank Engine, but we don't. We have some Brio trains. So I'm a public transit nut. So we have lots of like bus and train toys, and I think that's one reason why chairs lined up on the ground is a bus. But we haven't watched Thomas the Train yet. Not against it.
I think it's still going, but I would like to see like the classic Ringo Starr and maybe is it George Carlin conductor.
I made the train of legs.
I would definitely watch that Ringo Starr thing. Did you hear about the train's latest edition?
No.
Legs and a butt. Legs and a feet and a butt.
Feet and a butt.
Yeah.
Cool.
All the important parts of a train. This is why audio only.
Cool.
But we love this train. It's a very good train. It sometimes is inconvenient around meal times, but it was a cheap and fun toy that we play with many times. Right now, who's on the train, buddy? Who's on the train with you?
Pablo.
Pablo's on the train. Who's Pablo? They can't see Pablo.
It's okay. Why can they not see Pablo?
Why? Because it's just audio.
What audio? Pablo is Pablo. Can you see Pablo?
I can't see Pablo. He's
Can you tell
invisible
them
to
about
me.
Pablo a little bit?
My penguin.
Oh.
Pablo is a lawn ornament penguin that the great Marie Pavlich acquired many years ago. You may have seen him during the yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
So Pablo endures. Pablo's a bus riding dude, and he's here with us.
That sounds like a good time.
Driving the bus. Pablo's driving the bus.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't have any arms, but he's got good eyes.
Like penguins are known to.
Like penguins do. Yeah, classic flange, classic penguin.
Yeah,
Good eyes.
classic. Those penguins are really hawk-eyed.
Yeah, you know.
You know, the old
Hawks
expression,
are-
hawk-eyed like a penguin.
Yeah, penguin-eyed. He's
Yeah.
he's penguin-eyed. Listen, Pablo's been through a lot. Let's not,
Did Maurice steal that lawn ornament?
I acquired it.
Oh.
I don't. The provenance, and I didn't ask any questions.
Say black market penguin lawn ornament. Bus
Yeah,
driver.
I think the economy of lawn ornaments is like the economy of grand pianos, right? Like grand pianos, if you want to buy a new one, they're expensive. But if you just want to acquire one,
But if you just want to take one off somebody's lawn, they're usually free.
No, I don't think I don't know.
I think anytime you put a grand piano on the lawn, it's free for the taking.
No, but I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people got grand pianos and feel bad about it. Like they're like, oh, I need to get rid of this thing. I'm moving to Albuquerque or whatever.
Sure.
And I think the same is true of the
lawn
occasional
ornament.
penguin.
Yeah, probably not worth shipping.
I mean, it depends on the sentimental value, of course.
Sure.
But yeah, they're bulky. And I mean, I guess if you got a printer with a laser in it, you could make your own lawn ornaments. But
interesting idea.
Yeah, well, that's a free one.
Thanks. I've been thinking about making stamps, like rubber stamps with the laser.
Oh,
Arlo,
do you like stamps? Yeah, Arlo loves stamps.
Oh, cool. Maybe Arlo could make me a drawing that you could scan and I could make a stamp from it.
Yeah, maybe. That may be like a long-term goal. Arlo's drawing is still improving.
Cool. So is mine.
Good. It's not Ted, it's Uncle Ethan.
Hey, Arlo.
For you.
Oh.
Just for you.
Thank you. All right,
Just
Casey,
for
you can't
you.
hold a good man down. Arlo and
That's
I
right.
we're going into the stamp business.
This is like my father never believed in me.
When I was 2, I wanted to start a stamp company with my dad's homeless gluing friend.
Uncle Ethan, you're gonna love this stamp. Come tell him about this stamp.
I'm gonna tell him about this stamp.
Okay, what is that a stamp of?
A tiger.
Oh, that's a good one.
Tiger. Ooh.
He's showing you the stamps, but I'm afraid I'm still not gonna opt into video.
Sure. Are we looking at rubber stamps here?
Yeah, I think that's a rubber stamp. I mean, that's call-in quiz show.
See? See?
He can't see it, but if you tell him about it, he can hear.
What color rubber is it, Arlo?
What color is the rubber?
Blue and white.
Blue and white. And does
and
it have
brown.
and brown? And does it have a wood handle?
No.
It doesn't have much of a handle, but I think it's mounted on plastic.
Interesting.
And then what's your other one?
Rubber.
The other one is rubber also, yeah. And what's it a stamp of?
A fox. Yip, 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 yip.
Good yipping, bud.
Ah, this is a very good fox impression.
I want you to see.
He can't see it, but you can describe it. What are its ears like?
It's a fox, and it has kind of a tail.
It does have a tail for sure. And this one is mounted on wood. And this one also is partially blue, but I think the eagle-eyed or penguin-eyed among you would notice that the blue is the ink that it has been stamped with.
Hmm. So the rubber is white and brown.
Well, one of the rubbers is kind of like grayish, and the other one is red.
So the
But
gray one is
white and
between
brown.
the red and the block, and that's the foam to ensure
I
good
think
contact.
You're finding an animal that it had a long neck.
He's finding an animal that has a long neck. You want him to guess what the animal is? You want to give some more hints?
It's a swamp.
That's a
Swan.
good hint.
What about
It's a
other animals besides the swan that has a long neck?
What other animal has a long neck?
How
He's
about
thinking so much.
a
Why don't you
cassowary?
tell him?
Okay,
Why
I was
don't you
just
tell him?
suggesting one. There's so many.
What animal has a long neck besides a swan?
Also, he definitely doesn't know what a cassowary is.
He only talks about cassowaries all day.
Little dude needed the fan lesson.
I don't think there's any animals that have long neck.
I don't think there's any more animals that have long necks. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
What
that's
about?
one way to go. That's one way to go. Object to the premise.
You're probably right.
What about a giraffe? Do you know what a giraffe is, buddy?
Got a long neck.
It sure does.
It is like. Look, who's coming? It's a pig.
Oh, great. Can you say again so Uncle Ethan can hear for
It's
sure?
a pig.
The
Oh,
pig.
that's a good one.
That is not a long-necked animal.
We got what stamps we got, Uncle Ethan.
I see. We're going through stamps. I thought we were using our imaginations.
Coming, a farm animal is coming.
A farm animal is coming. Sometimes tools help us with our imagination. What is that pig have that makes it special?
It has glasses on those like coats.
What do you think about that?
An ant with glasses.
Oh, it's no ant. What is it?
A pig.
A pig with glasses. What a learned pig.
Are they, what kind of glasses are they?
Coat. Glasses.
Yeah. I mean, it may be learned, but it's wearing shades. They could be prescription.
Prescription shades.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so this is a very messy toy to play with, and we need to get ready for lunch in a little bit. But it's been really fun talking to you on your video show, Uncle Ethan.
Hey, thanks for coming on, Casey.
Of course, of course. What are you bringing, buddy?
I'm bringing a bear.
Oh, good. What kind of bear is that?
Brown bear.
Brown bear, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye to Uncle Ethan so we can get ready for lunch.
I want to show him.
You want, well, you can tell him. Tell him a little more about the bear.
It's a big, brown size.
A brown size?
Uh-huh.
What size would you say it is?
That's a fairly large bear.
Well, it's a teddy bear.
Oh, I see.
What does it have? What does it have around it?
A little scarf.
A little scarf, yeah. It has. This is a kind of stamp you could look into. You get letters, and you can plop them into like a slot within the stamp. That's the kind that this teddy bear is.
Oh, interesting.
What else does it have besides a scarf?
Eyes
It has eyes
and hearts around it.
and hearts around it. Sure does. Well, this was really fun playing with our stamps and talking to Uncle Ethan. Can you say bye-bye to Uncle Ethan?
Oh, there's one more animal.
There's one more animal. There's probably 1,000 more animals. But anyway, it was great talking to you, bud. And I'll talk to you later. Good luck with your gluing. It looks
Thank you.
very well glued.
Thank you. I'll catch you later, Casey. Have a nice lunch.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Frog.
Ribbit, Ribbit, it's a frog. Can you say bye-bye?
It's a frog.
It
Oh,
sure
wow.
is. Okay. Bye-bye, Uncle Ethan. Have a good one.
Bye, Casey. Bye, Arlo. And that was the segment of the show where I talked to a 2-year-old. Pretty fun. Reject. Yes. Kitty Mayor says 2-year-olds are fun if they're not your sole responsibility. I agree. Call-in 2-year-olds are the best. Although I probably could train some 2-year-olds to peel acrylic. That might make it reasonable. Try not to touch my mustache here with solvent gloves. done with that stack. It's about a third of the order. We'll be here for a long time. Kidding Mayor says, well, dinner is ready. Nice watching someone being productive. Bye. See you later, Kidding Mayor. Have a nice dinner. Okay. That is third one of two stacks. Okay. So this together makes up half of what I gotta do today. Give me 1 second. And I'm back to the exciting glue stream. Here. Oh, Nick is here. He says, "Hey Ethan, how did the pre-peeled sheet of acrylic work out?" It was not as clean a cut as I would like, and so I went back to just peeling everything by hand. It's slower. One day when COVID's over, I will just hire somebody to peel. But for now, I was sort of willing to just do the extra couple hours worth of work to make sure that this order was nice and clean for where it's going. Somebody in the chat suggested earlier today that I peel the acrylic and use a different, like transfer tape backing. I have to look into that. That might be easier to peel off than the original paper seal on the acrylic. So we will see. Always room for process optimization here at Cameradactyl headquarters. Plastic or paper, the transfer tape. Excuse me. I don't know. I actually don't know anything about transfer tape. I had seen people use masking tape, like big wide sheets of it, or even small strips too. I don't know what transfer tape is. Somebody just recommended it, and so now that I have the search term, when my hands aren't covered in melted acrylic, I will do a little bit of searching on Amazon and AliExpress for such tape. Reject. got a print done. I need to change that printer with a few homunculus accessories. I'm done gluing this. We can go over there. I'll have to put my headphones down, but rotate the camera. back to gluing. Ah. Nick asks, do you and Joe plan on doing further experimentation with the RA4 process? Yes, absolutely. A lot of that has hinged on this laser cutter, and I've got some laser cut backed up orders and regular Kickstarter orders that I've got to do first before Joe and I can get real deep in that wormhole again. But yes, it is kind of the main thing that we're thinking about doing with the laser cutter together. Building cameras for that process specifically. Oh, Nick says, great, just received today some Fuji Crystal Archive glossy paper and might order some filters and proceed to process at the lab here. Oh, great. Can't wait to see what you do. It's been really cool seeing people get into that process. Nick says, have a great day, Ethan, and see you next time. See you later, Nick. And thanks for stopping by. Good luck with your prints. Okay, I'm about out of solvent in this applicator. I gotta find a solvent funnel and refill this thing. And it's about time to make lunch for Laura, so I'm gonna sign off, and I will be back in maybe an hour doing more of the same. If anybody wants to come talk, you know where I'll be. All right, bye.